So, Bismillah Rahman. Today is our seventh topic of lecture Pharmacy Act 1967 in continuation of our previous lectures. So, we'll go for more section. I think we have done up to 19th. I think we have done up to section 19 and I think we have done up to section 20. Am I right? If you remember that, we have finished up to section 20, I think. So next is the inspectors. So it's in section 21, it is for the inspector who has to go for inspection, because whenever there is a facility has been established in teaching or are concerned with that pharmacy council, they appoints a panel of inspectors known as panel of inspectors, basic panel of inspector or committee, which has to inspect that facility of education and in pharmacy institute over there. So what section 21 says that the central council means central pharmacy. As I told you, this act was promulgated in February 73, when this our constitution of 73 was not promulgated. It was promulgated in August 1973. So that's why before that, the federal government or provincial government, federal government, also known as central government. So similarly, therefore, they are saying it's a central council. It is a Pakistan Pharmacy Council. Later on, it have amended the name. The Central Council of Pakistan Pharmacy Council may appoint such inspectors for the inspection institution as it may consider necessary. So what they do, they have to appoint panel of inspectors, 2-3 among the members. Now, class 21(2) says, an inspector appointed under subsection 1 may, if he is so authorized in writing by the president of the council, means that panel inspector must be appointed by the president. They must be notified by the president. So they say that an inspector appointed under subsection 1 may, if he is so authorized in writing by the, no verbal, he must be given a written notification, written orders in such a way the inspector has been appointed. It cannot be verbally say, yes, you go over there. They must appoint inspector in writing. So section 21(2) says, an inspector appointed under subsection 1 may, if he is so authorized in writing by the president of the council. 21(2)(a) says, what he has to do? Inspect any institution which holds an approved examination or conducts an approved course of study and may attend any such examination held by such institutions. So what he has to do? He has to inspect any institution where there approved examination by the pharmacy council or conduct an approved course of study, maybe certification, whatever. So these things must be approved by the pharmacy council and may attend any such examination held by such or any other examination related to pharmacy matters. Any approved courses, degree courses, certificate courses, whatever it is, must be approved by the pharmacy council. So he has to examine, he has to attend, he has to visit that institute and examine these institutions as per laid down procedure of that pharmacy council. He has to check, he has to examine. 21(2)(b) says, what he has to do? Inspect any institution which has applied for the approval of the examination held or course of study conducted by it and attend any examination held by such institution. So some have applied for such thing. So they have to go that facility and they have to examine that whether the facilities are under the criteria prescribed by the pharmacy council, they fulfill that criteria or not, in terms of teaching faculty, in terms of lab facility, in terms of equipments, whatever is prescribed in the requisition of that one in pharmacy council, they have to examine these all facility which are prescribed by the pharmacy council. So what he has to do in 21B, he has to inspect any institution which has applied for the approval of examination held. Big means they applied for any examination of Form D or B Pharm or MPhil or postgraduate or standards. So they have to examine accordingly. Or course of study conducted by it and attend any examination held by such institutions. Now, section 21(3) says, an inspector who attend any examination shall not interfere with the conduct thereof, but shall submit to the Central Council a report on the sufficiency or otherwise of such examination and on any other matter in regards to which the Central Pharmacy Council may require him to report. So, what whenever he has to just, he has to examine, he has to observe. Whenever he went over there, whenever the panel inspectors went to such facility, they have to observe. They do not interfere the matter how they are conducting. They just observe, and in a manner of report, he has to submit to the pharmacy council. What he has to do? He has to observe, he has to examine, he has to check, he has to see, and whatever they are doing, he do not interfere, he do not guide them, he do not advise anything over there. If it is not as per the prescribed rules, prescribed criteria, so he has a report to the Central Pharmacy Council that these are the shortcomings, these are the fulfillness, this is a good report, this is a poor report. So he has submit in form of a report to the Pharmacy Council. So there are three functions over here. In section 21(1), then there's section 21(2), they have further subsection 2A, B, and there are section 21(3). I can again repeat that. First, 21(1) say how the inspector appointed. So they have to, the pharmacy council whenever need to inspect, need to examine, need to check over there, they appoint inspectors, a panel of inspectors, one inspector or 2, 3 members among that council, they may appoint inspector. Then they must be authorized in writing. Then they have to only inspect the facilities which are approved by the council, whether it is a degree program over there, it is a certification program over there, it is a MPhil program is there, or it is a PhD program. They inspect these facilities. So if someone has applied for that, they applied for certain new examination, so new facilities, they can also examine that one. The section 21(3) says that they have only to observe. Whenever they have to inspect, they went over there, they observe, they record the facility, and then submit in a form of report to the pharmacy council, where they have to check, they have to read over that one, and then they have to decide approval of these facilities, whatever they are doing. Then they are going for section 22. So if the council who can allow the approval, they can also withdraw. How to withdraw the approval? Because if they are not fulfilling these requirements as per laid down procedure of pharmacy council, they can withdraw, they can continue, they can cancel, what they can do. So how they can withdraw, how they can cancel? So there is a section 22(1). It says, whereupon a report by inspector, so when as per rule 21, the 3 whatever, so they've examined that facility, and where upon a report by an inspector or a panel inspector, it appears to Central Council, Center Pharmacy Council, that an approved course of study or an approved examination does not continue to be in conformity with the Act and the regulation. The Central Council shall give notice to the institution or authority concerned, calling upon it to explain in writing why the approval of its course of study or examination should not be withdrawn. So what happens is when the panel of inspector, they observe, they examine that facility, they went over there, that university or that department, whatever it is, or an institute of pharmacy, if they find that that institute or that department, that faculty is not fulfilling the requirement of the pharmacy council or as per act, so they can show. First what they do, they send them a show cause notice. They send a show cause notice that as per the visit of our inspector, they have found following discrepancies, they have found following shortcomings. Now they have to call them in writing. So it is explained in writing. So they have get a show cause notice. So they have to reply according to that. So first, in section 22(1), they have to send them a show cause notice as per the visit of the report of the inspectors. Then further they go for 22(2) says, the institution or authority to whom a notice has been given under subsection 1 shall within 60 days from the receipt of such notice comply with the notice and may also make such representation to the Central Council through the provincial government as it may wish to make. So what they have when they issue a show cause notice, it has 60 days. Within 60 days, they have to reply. They have to reply in writing or presentation. So when they receive that show cause notice under section 22(1), they have to reply within a 60 days to the pharmacy council, or they may send it through the provincial government, whatever the matter is. So 22(2) says, the institution or authority to whom a notice has been given under subsection 1 shall within 60 days from the receipt of such notice comply with the notice and may also make such representation to the Central Council. So they have to reply in writing to the Pharmacy Council of Pakistan whatever they have received as per show cause notice. These are the following shortcomings, how they have to fulfill. So this has to be done first. They have to send a notice. It has a period is 60 days when they are going to withdraw a approval. So it has to be done under the law. They can't do haphazardly to institution and they have to cancel their approval. So first they have to issue them a show cause notice. First, the inspector has to visit, they submit report. On the basis of report, they issue a show cause notice. That show cause notice have a 60 days time during which they have to reply. Now, what the section 22(3) says, the Central Council, after considering the explanation given and any representation made under section 21(2) and any observations on the representation which the provincial government may think fit to make, may, by notification in the Official Gazette, declare that its approval of the course of study or examination conducted or held by the institution or authority concerned shall stand withdrawn with effect from such date as may be specified therein. And every such declaration shall state that the course of study or examination conducted or held by such institution or authority shall be deemed to be approved only when completed or passed as the case may be before the date so specified. Now what they do? When they have submitted explanation, they reply that show cause notice. Now the council has to examine that whether the observation they have fulfilled the observation or not. Then they withdraw these facilities and under a gazette declaration. And gazette declare that its approval of the course of study or examination conducted or held by the institution or authority concerned shall stand withdrawn, means it has to be cancelled. They are denotified. They are no more approved institution of that Pharmacy Council of Pakistan. So now they have to stop teaching or stop such courses. Shall be deemed to be approved only when now again, if they have fulfilled all the requirement, then they again can be allowed when they say that we have fulfilled all the shortcomings which were noted by that one in Shoka's notice, then they are again allowed for such facilities. Now we are going for functions of a provincial council. Now, earlier that it was all up to the Central Pharmacy Council or Pharmacy Council of Pakistan. Now, functions of a provincial council, because I told you that every province have its own pharmacy council. We have Sindh Pharmacy Council, we have Punjab Pharmacy Council, we have Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Pharmacy Council, then we have Balochistan Pharmacy Council. Still, we have AJK Council is also there. Now they're also doing for the Gilgit-Baltistan Council. So that are the various councils. So what the functions of provincial council, how they work? How they work? Section 23 says the function of provincial council shall be one. 23A says to prepare and maintain register of pharmacists and apprentices in pharmacy. First, when you qualify this Pharm D, first thing is that you apply for the registration in Sindh Pharmacy Council. When you pass, qualify, you are declared pass by the university, by the faculty. First thing, you have to apply under section 23A for the registration as a pharmacist, apprentice or apprentice in such case of BRT too. So that is a registration. So in European, in advanced countries, developed countries, they are apply for licensed. We don't have licensed pharmacists. We have registered pharmacists. Now, if you go through Europe or America, they have licensed pharmacists. As if you say that for doctors, when they are registered, they have a PMDC number, or Pakistan Pharmacy Commission. Sorry, Pakistan Medical Commission. That is their registration number, so they can practice anywhere. But here, a pharmacist cannot practice like that because he's not a licensed. Now, he is a registered pharmacist. He or she is a registered pharmacist. So whenever they have to apply for such jobs, wherever they're required, so they must put up, show their registration certificate by the Pharmacy Council. And in case of physician doctors, they have just get that one PMC registration and they can do their practice wherever they need. In pharmacists, they must get licensed. They must go for any licensed. If in the retail pharmacy, they have to go for a drug sale license. For such purpose, a registered pharmacist is required. Registered pharmacist registered under Pharmacy Council on Register A. Is it clear? Now then they go for 23B says to register pharmacists and grant certificate of registration. Now one, you have to apply there. Now they have registered you on the basis of your documents, you are presented, your mark certificates, your pass certificate, your degree, whatever they require. Now what the Pharmacy Council of concerned province do? It has to register you as a pharmacist and grant certificate of registration, which is also known as category nowadays. Actually, it is a certificate of registration. Now you can write with your name, Dr. XYZ RPH, registered pharmacist. Now 23C says to conduct examination for the purpose of registration as pharmacist. So they can nowadays, only the Pharmacy Council of Pakistan is authorized to conduct. Nowadays, the Provincial Pharmacy Council can also authorize to conduct certain examinations. Now, 23 first, they have to register pharmacists. Then second, they issue the registration certificate. Third function is that they can also conduct examination for the purpose of registration as a pharmacist. And 23D says to do such other acts and things as it may be empowered or required to do by this act. So other functions, other acts, if required under this Pharmacy Act, they can also perform such acts also. So 23A says they register. 23B says they issue this registration certificate. 23C says they can conduct examination for the purpose of registration as a pharmacist. They can also conduct. Third, other functions which are required under this Pharmacy Act, they can also perform in these acts. Now, 24 says, preparation and maintenance of register. How to maintain register in these facilities. These, as I told you, there's 3 registers: Register A, Register B, and Register C under Section 25. So, Provincial Council shall prepare or cause to be prepared and maintain the following register of pharmacists and apprentices for the province. Namely, one is Register A, in which shall be registered the person specifies in the class A of subsection 1 of section 25. So then they have registered B, in which shall be registered the person specified in class B and C of the said subsection. It means the pharmacy technicians are registered in register B, because that Provincial Pharmacy Council can conduct an examination for registration of of register B as a pharmacy technician. Then there is register C, in which shall be registered as apprentice in pharmacy. The dispensers mostly, they fall under this category of register C. So at present there is no register C is available, and since I think in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa they have a register C. You can also confirm that in which pharmacy council they register. So the register A, register B, and register C. They are thrice in these. They can enroll, they can register the person who are pharmacists, who are pharmacy technician, who are apprentice in pharmacy. According to that, they can be registered, because a pharmacist cannot work smoothly without pharmacy technician, without apprentice in pharmacy in a retail pharmacy or in a hospital pharmacy. They must have registered. They must have pharmacy technician. Earlier they were known as dispensers. Now they have changed the nomenclature of these dispensers to pharmacy technician. Now these pharmacy technician must be registered under register B in a pharmacy council. And in other staff is the apprentice in pharmacy. They are mostly dispensers who are registered under register C. I think I asked my knowledge, only in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa they have a register C also. Otherwise, in Sindh only we have register A. In Punjab they have register A and B, because they also conduct the examination of the pharmacy technician over there. So in Sindh, presently, I think 2 institutes have been approved in Sakhar nowadays for pharmacy technicians. Otherwise, we don't have any institute where approved institute, registered institute pharmacy council in Sindh, which they are authorized for the pharmacy technician course. Only presently 2 institutes in Sakhar, they are recognized, are approved up to date for register B only. And for its A, I think more than 100 institutes are granting the degree in Form D. So they are authorized to register in register A. So that's after that you can authorize to write RPH means registered pharmacist. Further is that, provided that Provincial Council may, with the previous approval of the provincial government, discontinue the registration of apprentices in pharmacy and may, with like approval, reopen such registration after it has been discontinued, and shall upon such discontinuance or reopening publish in the official gazette a notice thereof specifying the date of discontinuance or reopening. So for apprentice pharmacy technician, if they want to discontinue or if they want to continue, if they want to reopening, they get the approval from the concerned health department and they can allow for that, for the approval or discontinuation or reopening of these examination of pharmacy technicians. 2 says that every register prepared and maintained under subsection 1 shall include the following particulars relating to a person register. So these are the following things which has to be recorded in that register, whether it is register A, whether it is register B, whether it is a register C. What they have to record? A, full name of that person, the pharmacist or pharmacy technician or apprentice in pharmacy. Full name is full name. B is residential address. C is professional address where they are serving. D is father name. E is date and place of birth. F is nationality. G is its qualification, whether it's a Pharm D, whether it's a B Pharm, whether it's a pharmacy technician, whether it is a apprentice. H, date on which registered. And I say such other particulars as may be prescribed by the law. So these things from A to I may be registered in that register accordingly. Register A, register B, and register C wherever these are applicable. You can know that when you apply for these, for station pharmacy council, for register A, so these things has to be recorded. He has placed in the register your full name, there is residential address, your professional address where you are serving, you are working, your father's name, date and place of birth, where you were born, nationality, you are Pakistani, your qualification, whether you are Pharm D, pharmacy technician certification or dispenser certification, date on which registered, from where you are allowed for being a registered pharmacist or any other requirement, particulars required by the law.